Previously, I signed these three major rumors along with a few players of my own to improve Manchester United. Last season, I managed to win the Carabao Cup, but lost in the FA Cup finals and got knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage. You guys really enjoyed the last season and wanted another season, so that's what we are doing today. Before I show you the team, some unfortunate things took place. While I was recording the Milan video, I accidentally overrid the Man United save, so what I had to do was restart, make a new save. So as you're going to see, this is going to be still the 23-24 season because we're in the Champions League. We finished 5th last time, so obviously Europa League, so that's extremely unfortunate. However, what I did was brought the players that I brought in, so De Ligt, Xerxes, Ugarte, along with some of the subs that I brought in, and I put their rating in. I changed it. As you can see, we got some extra players in. It's the rumors that occurred. Chiesa, there was potential talks of him coming in. I thought it'd be interesting to see how he comes in, especially since he can play on the right, even though he's not really left-footed. I thought it'd be interesting to see. So then it's just to create some squad depth. And then on top of that, Gutierrez, the left back from Girona, he's 21 or 22, I believe, and left back depth is needed, especially since Malacia disappeared for a whole year and a half. And then on top of that, Shaw being injured, he's coming off his injury, but still, you never know what happens. Even in the save last episode, what happened was that he got injured in the beginning of the first half of the season. So, you know, it's always good to have that. Funny enough, with Chiesa, going back to him, it's been confirmed that Sancho is training with the first team for preseason. So it's interesting to see how our wing position actually is, if he comes off the bench, if he's going to start. With things being shaky, I doubt that he'll start. Maybe it's also just a ploy from United to be like, look, people are interested, no one's making offers. They're probably trying to lowball us. We make it seem like he's in the squad, that then we don't need to desperately sell him. So then maybe they'll get more money from that. Maybe it's a debating tactic, who knows? But this is what we're going in with the squad with. Instead of doing the January transfer window and then the end of the season, this episode I'm gonna do 2 seasons, and then I want you guys to know, because depending on if it takes longer or not, if we get into any major cup final, I'll probably play one of them. If we're in multiple, I'll play the more serious one. So that's probably what I'm planning on doing. And then we'll probably do next season dream signings potentially, to see like maybe we can do maybe a João Neves or something like that, depending on how the team develops. So that's the plan for this episode. Before I continue and show you guys the progress of the season, I've also got to mention that I also brought in Branthwaite, the left-footed center back from Everton. He's a great backup and can even start over Martinez at times. Martinez has been our best center back. I've seen some delusional fans say to sell him. Don't know why he said that. He's arguably been our best defensive player, second to Dalot, obviously. But I think Branthwaite, it's an iffy situation with the whole not bidding war, but just Everton being solid on 70 mil, United saying, look, we're not going to go for him. We have other options we can get, like Lenny Joro. I'm not sure about if I'm going to pick him up, but forgot to also mention that we got Branthwaite, so that's what we're going to be using as our backup to Martinez, because he's also been injury prone this last season. As you can see, it's the end of the season. We finished 2nd, and we are 7 points behind City. I'm sad that we fell that much, because we were actually at one point 3 points behind them with 1 game behind. So as the season went off, we kind of fell down a little bit. If we look at the domestic cups, if we go to the FA Cup, we were close to the final. We lost in the semi-final 3-0 to Spurs. Is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And then the Carabao Cup, we lost in the finals 3-1 to rivals Liverpool. I was really sad about that. We couldn't do it. I don't remember what happened. But even though we didn't make any of the cups, if we go to the Champions League, it's time to play the final. I'm going to be going against Newcastle United. Before I play it, I'm going to show you guys the squad and the stats. So ignore the fitness, because it's still 2 weeks before the Champions League final. But as you can see, players are developing nicely. We have Menu at 81, Ugarte 86. Bruno, he has been carrying. When you see the stats, it's amazing. Fullbacks, we have a very well-rounded first 11. I'm extremely happy about it. Even though, as you can see, we have Højlund here on the bench. He's developed really well. I think we started him around 81, 82. So to go to 86 has been extremely helpful. However, Joshua Zirkzee has been a better player overall the season. I think the stats will show that. So he offers more. So that's why I put him in the first squad. Now, if we go to the stats, now starting with our forwards, as you can see, same amount of games played. However, Xerxes 22 goals, 9 assists, more goals, more goal contributions. So I think he's taking the first spot over Højlund. However, Højlund did do well. I'm not going to take away credit from that. If we go down to our wingers, Anthony, he's been coming off the bench. 2 goals, 1 assist, not that good. Bruno Fernandes, 44 goal contributions. He's played, I want to say, almost every game. He has been extremely great, 89 overall. Now, if we go to left wingers, because I don't know why they break it up like this. Oh, it's because they're midfielders. Rashford has been extremely poor, despite him being the highest overall of our wingers, being 86. We have Chiesa coming in, 17. It's a little something. I'm not mad at that. Garnacho, 22 goals and assists. He has stepped up. I think he improved way better than last season because he didn't do that much. I didn't mention this, Diallo. I put him on loan just because we're bringing in Chiesa. I wanted to see how our wingers are going to look, how they're going to be. As you can see, Anthony, Rashford doing bad. I'm thinking of moving them on next season, especially since, as you can see here, both Menu and Ugarte, the deep midfielders, getting either the same, or I think, no, both of them more goal contributions. I'm extremely disappointed, especially since I have Ugarte really staying back and holding down and anchoring the play. So that's been extremely unfortunate. Now, if we go to Onana, I want to see how many clean sheets, because he's been the goalkeeper for every game. We've had 11 clean sheets out of 61 games. I'm happy, not that happy. He's managed to get an assist somehow. We know he likes playing those long balls, so I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. If you haven't seen the AC Milan video, I was surprised how Maignan, he got 5 assists in a season, and it caught me off guard, really. Like, look at it. Our backup fullback got more goal contributions than Rashford. That's how you know there's an issue there. I'm thinking of moving him on. As you can see, this is the Newcastle starting 11 that we're going against. Funny enough, Lindelof I did sell in the beginning of the season, and as you can see, he has a starting spot. So it's kind of ironic that we have a Manchester United player going against us, but it's completely fine. It was all for the better. I'm glad to see he's doing well. Rabiot looks like that's gone to the club. I don't know that right back, but everyone else on the team, like Livramento, promising youth player, Anthony Gordon, Almiron, former MLS player. I know I'm familiar with this team, so this is the team we're going up against. I'm going to be playing on the highest difficulty, and then star players, which ironically they don't have any listed, but most likely maybe someone like Bruno Guimaraes or Isaac will have that, so they'll be higher intelligence, better decision making, and quality. So this is the team we're going against. If I go here, we go to our side, you're going to see this is the starting lineup that we're going with. Shaw, Dalot on the fullbacks, Onana in goal, Martinez, De Ligt holding down the middle with Menu, Ugarte just in front of them, Garnacho, Fernandes, and Chiesa in the midfield going forward, and then Zirkzee at front. Right off kickoff, dangerous tackle from Almiron to get Newcastle a red card off rip 3 minutes in, which then eventually leads to a corner that's taken by Bruno and lovely header by De Ligt to make it 1-0 for the first half. We then decide to bring on Gutierrez and Mount just to revitalize the team, but unfortunately it doesn't work out, as right away Isaac with a beautiful goal near post somehow beats Onana. Very unfortunate. Right after that, just 2 minutes later, Rabiot edged the box on his weak foot, a beautiful goal. Don't know how he managed to score that, but it doesn't matter, because 2 minutes later, Garnacho coming down the wing, he gets past his man, he's looking for an option, he cuts it back to Zirkzee with a beautiful finish, and we tie the game. While we get some momentum, unfortunately gets taken away as a huge mistake in the back end leads to another goal for Newcastle. Luckily, we have Zirkzee on the ball. He's able to spread it wide to Gutierrez. There's really a lot of space. Rashford with a beautiful turn in the box, and it's guaranteed. It is a goal. We sub him in for Chiesa, and he's had already more impact on that left-hand side, putting Garnacho on the right, being able to pace by. And as you can see, it's going to happen again as we build up in the midfield. Bruno finds Garnacho, and he strikes it across goal with his strong foot. Chiesa did really good in the season, but he did not do good in the Champions League. To reinforce, to really get it going, we're going to put Højlund up front. We're going to drop Ugarte off, and as you can see, on a counter attack, he's open, he's in space, he goes across goal to the side net, which buries the game away. As you can see, the players celebrate once again after the goal. Whistle stops, and that is the Champions League final of this season. We have managed to lift the trophy. It's been a few days since I last recorded, and we got some major changes, not just news, confirmation. Obviously, like I said, Sancho's back in the lineup, so as you can see, we put him here. I don't think he's going to get the starting. Yes, there's still the chance that we sell him, but there is more of a chance that we also keep him. So what I did was I brought him in, but to make space, I got rid of Chiesa because that's looking less likely. And then on top of that, if we scroll down, Diallo, I sent him on loan. He came back, 82 overall. I want to make him a backup. The reason why there's some weirdness around the wingers is because you have someone like Diallo coming from the youth academy who is promising, has shown a bunch of talent and promise, and you don't know where he's going to be in terms of wing position, because obviously you have Rashford, Garnacho, he can play on the left. So if you have them two fighting for the left wing spot, then you have Sancho and Diallo fighting. But who are you going to put first? Because realistically, Sancho, he's older, he earns more, he's probably promised more of a role, but he has to earn his way back into the starting rotation. Do you bench Rashford, put Garnacho on the left, Sancho on the right? It's weird. It's good. It's a good problem to have that issue, but just morale wise in the locker room, along with, I think Diallo should stay. I think we should give him more play time. Like, what role exactly would he have, especially since he is the only natural left footer out of those four wingers? So it's a weird position. But then on top of that, Lenny Joro just got confirmed today. He's doing his medical, so I'm extremely happy with that. And then I thought of making one of the dream moves. He's led to move to PSG, so we're not sure exactly where he's going, because he is excited with the project. As Fabrizio said in his most recent video, at the time of recording this, that he likes the idea of being coached under Luis Enrique, and it makes sense for him because Luis Enrique is good with technical players, he's good with midfielders, and Neves is exactly that. If you want to look at just stats, as you can see, he can do everything, but if you look actually at his game, he is surprisingly strong. For being 5'9", 145 pounds, he is very strong. He's good he's comfortable on the ball. He can distribute the play and pass really well. So he is a very, very impressive player. Now, Xavi Simons, this kid, I've always been a fan of him. Especially since I am part Dutch. I was supporting Netherlands. The goal he scored for England, I thought it was going to get the job done, but there are links of him going on loans to different clubs, as I mentioned in the Bayern video a few weeks ago. But with Xavi Simons, there's the potential of him coming to this club, but then where does he fit? Because he can play on the wing, then that threatens Diallo's position. Bruno, you're playing most games, so what do you do there? Obviously, since in real life they're not going to have João Neves, you can do, I guess, on the bench, you do Xavi Simons attacking mid, you do Mount as a center midfielder, and then you play him next to Menu, or however you choose to rotate. But it's a weird position at Xavi Simons, because while he is good and you want a lot of talent in your team, I feel like there are some players that he deserves to go over, but he won't, just because they earn that spot, like Rashford, like Garnacho. So it's an extremely weird position, but these are the main changes that I've made to the squad. I believe I sold Harry Maguire. I want to move on from McTominay. But as you can see, Mount there all the way at the bottom. Now, rumors of Wan-Bissaka leaving, opening talks with West Ham. I don't think it makes sense unless we have plans on going to get a backup right back. We have, I think Collier is a right back from the youth academy. I guess you have, oh no, he's a CD, I'm sorry, he's a midfielder. So like, I don't know who I'm thinking of. I think it's like Ogbane or something. But who then do we slot at the right back position? I'm not a fan of moving on Wan-Bissaka. I think he is a good addition on the bench. But having that said, we're going to go into the future games. We have, I believe, Man City in the Community Shield. We have them in the Community Shield. And then if I go to the calendar, we also play PSG in the Super Cup, meaning they won the Europa League. So I'll play those games. I'll show that at the end of the season as well. But we're going to continue with the rest of the season. Hopefully the players do good, develop, and our goal is to win the Prem and at least make it to the final Champions League. Hopefully repeat, and then the dream is to win the treble. Despite all the changes we made, unfortunately we fell short of the title, 6 points behind. As you can see, it was extremely close. We lost. Chelsea somehow won the league, when I think last season they did horribly. They weren't even in the top 8. But if you look in the last month on the right side, we won our last game, but then we lost to Arsenal. I believe we drew a game as well. Let's scroll down. We drew to Brentford. We beat Everton, and then we lost to Tottenham. So a lot of points dropped that last season. It's extremely unfortunate to see. And then even if we go to the Carabao Cup, you'd think we do good in that. We didn't make the finals or semifinals. We lost in the quarterfinals on penalties, which was extremely annoying. Something about Liverpool, man. They keep getting us. But luckily, we made it to the FA Cup final. Now, as you know, the FA Cup final is always before the Champions League final. And if we go to the calendar, we go to June, we did not make it. Unfortunately, we lost after our first game being up 1-0 against PSG. I think we then went to overtime, sorry, the American enemy, to extra time, and we lost in the like 117th minute. I can't really go to the game. Actually, I can if we go to the calendar. I believe we can go. So let's go check that out. Okay, no, we can't. But as you can see, we won the first game, but then the following week we lose 4-2, and it was in extra time. We conceded in like the 115th minute or something. So we lost to a very stacked PSG team. So extremely unfortunate. But this is what the team's looking like when we go to team management. We have Xerxes, who's become an 88 overall, which is extremely nice. This is not even our starting lineup. Let's put our starting lineup actually in. So this is what the team is looking like going into the FA Cup final. Our first 11 is really good. As you can see, we have Mount there. He's been stealing a lot of the playtime from Mainoo and Neves because Ugarte, we've given him a crucial role in the club, so he's playing a lot of the games at a CDM, so Neves isn't really getting in there. And Xavi Simons hasn't been playing a lot, but he's developed extremely well, and he's provided a lot for us as well. Garnacho ended up fulfilling his potential. He's at 89 overall, still pushing forward. He's doing extremely well for us. Rashford, as you'll see in the stats, he's had a great season despite the horrible season last season. And then Wan-Bissaka, he stayed at this level. Diallo's gone up. So we definitely can make some dream signings, some better signings on the bench that can potentially push us to our goal of winning the Champions League. Now, because we already won the Champions League, the Premier League. So I want to do another episode where I make dream signings, and I want to know what players you guys might want to see on the bench or potentially taking over one of these players. For me, I'm thinking Mainoo, hopefully in the off season he develops, and then we get a new left back. That's my opinion. Maybe move on some players from the club, maybe Bruno Fernandes, because he is kind of old, but I would love him to retire at at Manchester United. But he's said that after the Euro he's going to contemplate what he's going to do, so I expect him to stay, but we'll see. Maybe we could have Xavi Simons as a permanent replacement for him, but that's all like practicality, and we don't really know. Onana as well, forgot to mention, 89 overall. He's been extremely great. His diving isn't the best, but everything else has been extremely good, and he's fast. Now, when it comes to the stats, a poor season from Højlund. He's had less games than Xerxes, or he has more games than Xerxes, but only 6 goals is insane. I know he's a high rating, so he should be doing better. I'm not going to sell him though, because he is a part of the Manchester United future, so there's no way that I'm gonna get rid of him. I think these two interchanging is extremely well, along with a third option as Ethan Wheatley. He's extremely young. He's showed extreme promise in the youth. But now moving on to the wingers, Diallo, for a rotational player, 8 goals and assists. I'd like a little bit more, but I'm not mad at that. We have Garnacho, 19 goals and assists, 16 goals, 3 assists. Rashford producing more. This is what we like to see. 17 goals, 11 assists. He has stepped up massively. Xavi Simons, we've given him a good amount of games, but 9 goal contributions. I am not mad at that. Bruno Fernandes, compared to his last season where he had 44 goal contributions, this has been extremely disappointing, because we know he can produce more. And then look at João Neves, 3 goals, 2 assists off of minimal game time. I'm not mad at it at all. Mount, he's basically done the same as Mount in the same amount of play time. Jadon Sancho we have on the bench, 9 goals, 4 assists. I think that means he's earned not actually a potential starting spot, but I think I'm going to play him more than Diallo, because I think I did give Diallo more play time. Oh, no, I lied. But as you can see, Sancho is doing really good off the bench. Ugarte and Mainoo, I can't complain. I can't complain with the stats. It's just the results that need better work. And then another 3 assists for Onana. I don't know how he does it, but right now I'm gonna wrap up everything. I'm gonna simulate the finals. I want to know what you guys want me to do. If you want me to move on to another team, if you would like to see another episode of Manchester United, because there are a lot of eyes on them. They're doing extremely well under Ineos right now. We're actually looking like a competent team, so let me know. But before I say my goodbyes and everything, we're gonna quick sim. Hopefully we at least bring a trophy after our failed season. Go, and we do win. Let's see, Rashford and Xerxes combining together. Not many people coming off the bench, but I'm extremely happy with that. As you can see, Anthony, he went to Chelsea, so good decision, I guess. But that's gonna be it. Have a good rest of your day. like I said, let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. Have a good one and peace.